Alright, so I just wanted to do a quick video on this 2014 Nissan Leaf. I've been meaning to do this for a while, never find the time to do it. It's not the best time right now, the lighting's horrible, it's almost dark. But I figure I just got to do it. So, like I said, it's a 2014 Nissan Leaf. I've owned it for about 2 years. Bought it more as an experiment than anything else. I was driving a car that was getting bad gas mileage. It was a V8 SUV, my round trip is an hour each way to work every day. So I said, well, let me look into electric cars and see what they're all about. So I went out, had a look around, and looked at this and a Chevy Volt. My wife was more fond of this because it has a 3-passenger back seat, so it'll tote around 5 people. So we landed on this. It's all electric. It's not a hybrid. A lot of you already know that, but anyways, so it's a little scary at first, but it's not as bad as you think. It's just a matter of getting used to it. And the main thing is it's incredible value. These you can pretty readily find them for around 10 grand, sometimes less. This car was originally 33,000 new. I bought it for about 10 grand. It had about 19,000 miles on it, so it still was like a new car. I've put another 23,000 miles on it in the last 2 years. And the amazing thing is I've done nothing to it, not one thing. It's just been a great vehicle. No oil changes, nothing to worry about. The only thing you have to do is eventually put brakes on it and tires on it and maybe some washer fluid or whatever. But there's no maintenance. There's just so few moving parts that there's just not much to do to them, and they just keep going and going. And it literally costs me pennies a day to drive. I charge it overnight, and I just have a 110. I would like to get a 220 level 2 charger, but I don't have that yet, so I just use the 110. I plug it in, it charges overnight, it's ready to go in the morning, and I do it again that evening, and just do that every day, and it's worked out great. There is some getting used to it because sometimes you might want to go someplace after work or after wherever, and you have to map out, because you do have to find places to charge if you're going to go too far. I mean, it only has about a 80 to 90 mile range when it's fully charged, but it just depends on your commute. I mean, a lot of people, that's more than enough. My wife, for most of what she uses it for, it's more than enough. She runs around town, she works closer to home most of the time, so that all works out really good. One of the things about the car is it looks like a small mid-size compact whatever from the outside, but when you're inside the car, it feels much bigger. It's very roomy in the back. Like, I have teenage boys, they got plenty of room for their feet. There's room behind the rear seat for gear and whatever you might want to put back there. And when you're driving it, it doesn't feel like a small car. It feels very planted. It goes around corners very good, handles great. If you've never driven an electric car, they're amazing. The power, there's no transmission, so there's no downshifting whenever you punch the gas pedal or throttle or whatever you want to call it. It's not a gas pedal. Whenever you put the pedal down, it just goes. It doesn't hesitate, it just goes, and it doesn't make any noise, so you're not attracting attention or anything like that. If you see a spot that you want to move over to and get into or something like that, you just put the pedal down and you're there in a second, and you haven't attracted any attention or anything like that, and it's very safe. So I just absolutely love it. I mean, I'm a car guy. I love performance cars. I've had cars with turbos and built cars and all that kind of stuff. And in all honesty, I just have no desire to go back to a gasoline car. If anything, I would want to move to a Tesla or something like that that's more of a performance car. But for just everyday driving, you really can't beat this car for what it costs and what you can compare it to in that price range. I don't think there's anything that compares in that price range. So I mean, if nothing else, go out and give one a drive before you buy another car and see what you think about it. I will say it takes more than a few minutes to get used to it. I don't know if you can get your full impression just in one quick drive, but it's definitely worth a try. So anyways, like I said, this is just a short video. There'll be more to come. It's definitely changed my life, and I want to head this direction. I have another car actually that I'll be putting in other future videos, but this is a good place to start. So I guess that's where we'll stop for today.